Hoping to find more information about why sleazy PI Carlos Maldonado has been keeping an eye on my place leads me to a swanky beach house where I'm delighted and surprised to meet an incredibly beautiful woman inside a home medical office. Unfortunately for me, the feeling is not mutual, and she's accompanied by a very lethal friend.
Freeze. What are you doing here?
Well, we had such a charming conversation on the vid phone, I knew I had to meet you. Now I'm rethinking that.
You don't remember me, do you?
Well, I wish I did. Does that count?
We met just once, years ago. So did you really come here looking for me? Or are you here for Mason?
I'm sorry. The correct answer is C, all of the above. I came here to find you, but it's Mason I'm looking for.
Well, you'll have to make do with me. Mason isn't here.
So how do you know Mason?
In the biblical sense, I'm his wife, Ariel Bauers.
When was the last time you saw him?
Over a month ago.
No kidding. A wife like you, I'm surprised he ever leaves the house.
We've been legally separated for over a month. He has issues, erratic behavior, periods of deep depression. It got to be too much.
Psychological problems, huh? What are we talking here? He ties his shoe for an hour, or he walks into Burger Barn with dynamite in his pants?
I think it was just a reaction to stress. His work kept him away for weeks at a time.
So I heard your husband was a neurologist, like a brain surgeon or something.
Or something, yes. He worked in neurochemistry, how chemicals influence neural operations.
So who's he working for now?
Mason never talked about his work, even before we separated. But we stayed in touch. This was the longest he ever went without calling me. I got worried and came here. I found Maldonado's number and called to see if he knew anything.
Yeah, well, Maldonado's not going to be able to help us much because he's dead. Is that who you were coming to see on Chandler Avenue?
Yes, that's right. What happened to him?
Well, I'm not sure, but I'm trying to find out. But the trail seems to lead through your husband, who, by the way, I believe has been abducted.
Abducted? Now I'm worried sick. What are we going to do?
Well, to start with, if you could think of anything that could help me out here to find him, that would be a big help.
I will. Feel free to look around here. I wish I could stay and help, but I'll give you my number so you can call me later. And sorry about the gun to the head thing.
Oh, it's okay. I've just got one of those faces. Probably look better with a hole in it.
I have my doubts about Ariel Bauers' motivation. She certainly seems to have an agenda which includes more than just her husband's well-being. What's she up to?
Hubba, hubba. Whew. Is it hot in here, or did my internal fan just crash?
Look, feels like I'm being played for a sap.
Oh, come on. She's just getting ready to play the field. I'd like to bring her over for a debugging session.
Okay, enough. Looking at medical posters always gives me the heebie-jeebies. He's looking a little under the weather.
You have any facts?
If I found a flash drive, I could connect it to the video screen. Looks like Carlos Maldonado was trying to get a hold of Mason about someone named Margaret Leonard. Maldonado was tracking down a woman named Margaret Leonard for Bauers. You'd need a PhD to understand any of these books. You'd need a PhD to understand any of these books. Looking at medical posters always gives me the heebie-jeebies. Man, that is so cool. My business card? How did Mason Bauers get this? This looks like a good bathroom read. Nothing I can use. Oh, what a very hospitable guest room. Looking at medical posters always gives me the heebie-jeebies. Well, it's a microscope, and you'd need one of these just to see Rook's sense of humor. I'm sure these MRI pictures are showing me something. Looking at medical posters always gives me the heebie-jeebies. Unfortunately, it's not the tunnel of love. I got a feeling that's not a crochet needle. Unfortunately, it's not the tunnel of love. Just looking at this gives me an icky feeling. That's interesting. Something tells me the doctor got a lot of toothaches. Nothing I can use. You'd need a PhD to understand any of these books. Well, I wonder what's on this little device. This memory stick probably works on the computer in Bauers' MRI.
Long-lasting memories are created through a process of consolidation, which is based on the formations of protein in the brain. Thus, memories, particularly painful ones, are formed by these unstable proteins, making them easily identifiable and removed with a combination of drugs and behavior therapy, ensuring memory elimination. Of course, there are those who do not believe that the benefits of memory modification outweigh the risks. They warn that eliminating memories, one could significantly alter a person's personality, their history.
So, a fancy device that wipes your memories, Useful technology. I see applications for anyone who ever went out with you or read the Twilight series.
Come on. Little mercy here for the victim, all right? Why would Bauers want to erase my memory? Yoink! These makes me impressive, if you're into that sort of thing. Now I could use that. Must have gotten these from the big and tall curtain store. If the owner's ventriloquist dummies in here, I'm gonna be very upset. Lots of cash. Usually a sign of illegal activity. Pawn Weekly may be even sadder than that Cat Weekly magazine. Looks like Bauers was interested in some Nikola Tesla artifacts from Rook's pawn shop. The drawer inside this safe needs 2 additional cards. Whatever's in here must be so important that Mason Bauers keeps both the cards with him at all times. Lots of cash. Usually a sign of illegal activity. I better drop by the barbecue joint and see how that dweeb Mojo's doing.
Maybe he's decrypted that memory stick.
Yeah, about time, too. I need a new lead on this case.
Phone message waiting. Phone message waiting. Phone message waiting.
This message is for Mr. Tex Murphy. Storm clouds are brewing. Are you with White Russians or against us? A White Guard member is close. Prove your loyalty and we will reveal the truth.
What the heck was that? There must be another Tex Murphy in the phone book. We need to talk.
Oh, do we have to, really?
Yeah, trust me, you may be involved in what happened to me.
Oh, the very thought makes me giddy.
I knew you'd be pleased to hear that. But it's all tied to items of Nikola Tesla and a man named Mason Bauers.
It's true. It's true I've had some very rare Tesla items in my possession from time to time, but I have never heard of this Mason Bauers.
Do you know Carlos Maldonado?
Well, of course I know that wretched swine.
Tell me how he ties into Tesla.
Well, Maldonado tried to bribe and threaten me to reveal my source of my Tesla items, but I didn't give it to him, and I won't give it to you. Do you think Maldonado was the one watching you?
I think so.
Oh, my, that could be troublesome. I need to make some inquiries. Is there anything else? Like I always say, you can take a bum out of a dumpster, but you'll never get a dumpster out of a bum.
So, your memory stick's all ready to go. Now, what do you give me for it?
Excuse me?
You think I'm going to solve your case for free just because you're my idol? No, the great Tex Murphy wouldn't lift a finger without compensation. Neither will I.
So, how much are we talking here?
Do you have an action figure? I want something money can't buy.
I used to have a Pez dispenser.
No, I want an action figure of you.
How do I know what's on the memory stick is even worth anything?
You know how your cases always have 100 loose ends, and you need that one missing piece to tie it all together?
It's not always like that.
This could be that one missing piece. Mr. Murphy, you need this.
Fine. Name your price.
Do you remember that sicko who was going around with a liquid nitrogen freeze gun, shooting people and then smashing them? The press called him the Nitro Stalker. You got involved, and the cops finally found him a few weeks later, smashed into 1,000,000 pieces.
Damn. I really am a badass.
Everybody knows you were behind that bit of freeze-dried justice. The freeze gun was never found, and I'm betting you took it. I'll trade you the memory stick straight up for it.
All right. But please be aware that Inspector Burns Corporate will be hearing about your shoddy customer service.
Don't know.
I wonder who'd know about that stupid freeze gun around here.
Well, if it isn't Mr. Van Winkle. What is it I can help you with, Rip? The freeze gun? The one you pawned that supposedly belonged to the Nitro Stalker? I believe it was purchased by one of those vigilante Morlock hunters.
O Lord, we beseech thee, give us strength,
Courage.
protection. Hail, fellow countrymen. We are ready to begin our quest.
Hunting the dreadful night beast. Make haste.
Sorry, Tex, we gotta run.
Farewell, Sir Larry, Curly, and Moe. I'll be sure to tell Snow White you're gonna be late for breakfast.
Ooh, now this place is cool. A nerdy 7th grader's paradise.
Yeah, every weapon you'd ever need to be a level 85 World of Warlord chieftain. Well, I don't teach go-go dance at my academy. We're more respectable than that. I wonder what this key opens. It's a padlock key for a refrigerator, for extreme dieters only. Whoa, better tell Yogi to be on the lookout for these in Jellystone. I used to love the game of Twisty, until I realized its true sinister purpose. It's a key to a padlock. It's a padlock key. Fool me once, rubber spaghetti, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Yikes, no novelty toys in here, only real weaponry. Gross. No one's ever removed this thing since the incident? Good Lord. They're LARPers. Did someone leave these on? Because they look like they're on. Ow! Yep. Padlocking the fridge is for extreme dieters only. Ah, poor Rusty. I knew him well.
My God. You know what that is? It's the Cup of the Carpenter. It's from the Holy Land Toys collection by Robco. Batteries not included, a $10 value. My God. You know what that is? It's the Cup of the Carpenter.
Yep, that's not diet. Roof access. This needs a key. I see they put Rusty's zip line back in place. How convenient. Thank you, Deus Ex Machina.
No way! A freeze gun? This is definitely your coolest case ever.
No pun intended.
With freeze guns, the puns are always intended. Are you familiar with the work of Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Please, have mercy.
I'm afraid my condition has left me cold to your pleas of mercy.
I'm gonna find a way to turn you off, I swear.
You're not sending me to the cooler. Cool party?
You got it, didn't you? The Nitro Stalker freeze gun. So cool. My internet group is gonna be so jealous.
Listen, kid. We kind of keep this on the down low. If the cops find out I gave this to you, I'm probably gonna lose my license.
You can count on me. And I've already forgotten what was on that memory stick. Lips are zipped.
Good enough. And, by the way, that doesn't work.
We may only get one chance, Carlos, so I wanted to go over the plan one more time. If Margaret shows up at the Ritz, call me immediately. If I'm delayed, detain her. We have to assume she won't give up the egg voluntarily, but I want to talk to her first. You know why I've given you the cryo chamber, but that has to be the very last resort. And if anything happens to me, I'll need you to contact a friend of mine. Keep it safe until I retrieve it.
Well, it sounds like Mason and Margaret had a major disagreement. I need to locate both of them and get to the bottom of this. I decide to head back to my office to sort things out.
Hey, cowboy. Any memories coming back yet?
Not so far, but something tells me I might be missing out on some really good ones.
That's solid detective work.
So... were we dating?
Dating? Oh, that's so cute. I guess you can call it that. But we were also working together in a more professional capacity.
Well, now my detective skills are picking up a little sarcasm.
Seriously, cowboy, you're good. I've learned a lot working with you the past couple weeks.
Let me get this straight.
You and I were working on a case together. Do you mind telling me about that?
Not at all. You wanted a list of tenants here at the Ritz as far back as I could go.
Why would I do that?
It was your dreams. They were vivid before, but they were getting out of control. It's almost like they were changing you into someone else. You talked about seeing things from the past, but you wouldn't give me details. You were incredibly stressed. It was like you actually believed this apartment was haunted. You even started looking into psychometry.
Psycho what?
Psychometry. It's the belief that an object can contain a person's energy or memories.
So, not only am I an amnesiac, but I'm a paranormal idiot. Great.
Sounds crazy, I know. But then we found out about Donnelly.
Who?
J.T. Donnelly. It was the most bizarre thing. I'd heard you mention the name in your sleep. But then, his name turned up when I checked out the previous tenants.
So who is this guy?
He's a private investigator, a real old school brute. He worked for some powerful, influential people, but then he disappeared around 1943. His last known address was here.
San Francisco.
No, here, at the Ritz in this exact apartment.
Okay, that's a little bizarre.
It gets bizarrier. You called me one night, raving like a lunatic, saying the walls were talking. I rushed over and found holes smashed in the wall, and you curled up on the floor in a ball.
Well, I'm glad to hear I haven't changed that much.
You wouldn't tell me what had happened, but after that, you wouldn't sleep here. That's when you got your new place and started to sleep there.
Hold on. I have another place?
Yes, you do. And it's even nicer than here.
This is all crazy. I think I'm gonna sleep here tonight just to see whether it affects me in the same way.
Do you want some company?
Listen, Taylor, I'm beginning to see what the other me saw in you. But in my head, it's still 2043. I've got to tell you, there was somebody else.
Chelsea, I know. I know how much she meant to you, Tex. Losing her was traumatic as hell for you. But she's gone. And there's nothing you can say or do or don't do that's gonna bring her back. Do you feel that?
I sure do.
I'm alive. And that's my heart. It's yours if you want it. And it comes with all the other bits.
I'm sorry, Taylor, but I love Chelsea, and I never even got the chance to tell her. And if there's any chance that I can find her, I've got to do it. I hope you'd understand.
I don't understand, Tex. Why can't you let this go? It's crazy. That room you have across the hall with all our stuff is like some sick Chelsea shrine. I'm sorry I shouldn't have said that. I'm gonna go.
6 hours later, the rain was finally letting up. Last night felt like a blindside punch to the face. I didn't think having Taylor walking out of my office could be so painful. There's just something reassuring and comfortable about her, but I've got way too many questions, yearnings, and guilt not to find out what happened to Chelsea. Even if it kills me, I've got to know. There's something darker than the night I'm dealing with, and it hinges on what happened that evening 7 years ago with her. As Taylor leaves, she hands me the key to a room at the Ritz she calls the Chelsea Shrine Room.
You have a fax. You have a fax.
Looks like Archie's back in town. I should check out his 3 Cards to Midnight shop and see if he... Yeah, needs... Oh, that's got to be a fire hazard. It's Chelsea's business card for her newsstand. I didn't have the heart to tell her the print is dead. Yeah, I remember how much Chelsea wanted to go to the Fuchsia Flamingo that night. Chelsea loved to go to Arizona. I'd like to think I was the only thing keeping her here on Chandler Avenue. A reminder of the best and worst night of my life. I remember this thing was $14.99. Man, I spent an entire 3 months' salary on a ring for Chelsea. I'm here to ask you out for dinner, and I'm not taking no for an answer.
What, like a date?
No, it'd be more like two friends having a great meal and maybe some stimulating conversation.
I guess that'd be okay. I mean, yeah, that'd be all right.
So what are you in the mood for? You know, I heard Weenie World put tater tots on the menu.
I've got a better idea. Why don't you let me make you dinner at my place? It's cheaper than going out. And besides, I have something I'd like to talk to you about. Let's say 8 o'clock?
Well, you talked me into it, Miss Bell.
Well, I feel so spoiled.
By the way, what should I bring, red or white?
You better bring both.
Archie Ellis is my herbal tea-loving, source for all things alien, supernatural, conspiracy theorist. Or he's just plain crazy. He ran into some trouble with the NSA on my last case. Last I knew, he was hiding out in some tropical locale with a bevy of beauties. I'm surprised he's back in town.
Hey, Murphy, how you doing? You okay? I heard you were having some kind of amnesia. You know, most alien abductees always have some sort of memory loss.
Whoever gave me this lump on my head wasn't some midget alien. No offense.
Hello, aliens? We all know they have long arms. Yowza!
You really back off, man, because I swear I will shoot the next person who tries to touch this, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry. Ouch. Ooh. So, I guess you do need some catching up then. A few months ago, I moved back here from the islands and I opened up this place, and I was hoping that you and I could hang out together like old times, but you haven't been around much.
I've also turned into a heartless jerk, apparently.
Sounded like the same Murph to me, making jokes and putting your cigarette out in my herbal tea before I'm done with it.
So, have you heard anything about what I was working on before the aliens got me?
Not yet, but you know I'm always ready to be Robin to your Batman. Without the homoerotic undertones, of course.
Sorry, Arch, but it's a package deal. If you're gonna be in this with me, you're gonna have to be in all the way.
You had me going there, Murph.
Okay, Boy Wonder. I need you to enter two names into the Bat computer. Mason Bauers, Margaret Leonard.
Well, I don't know about Mason Bauers, but Margaret Leonard? She's connected to one of the greatest mysteries of all time. I mean, you know who Nikola Tesla was, right?
Nikola! The cough drop?
Nikola Tesla was a genius. Probably one of the greatest geniuses ever. I mean, it was Tesla, not Marconi, who was the true inventor of the radio. He invented a Tesla coil, the AC electricity, remote control. He even pioneered cryogenics.
So are we almost to the part about Margaret Leonard?
Right. Well, Tesla died in 1943 when the FBI just swooped in and confiscated all his papers and designs. Then in about 2012, all this stuff, the Tesla cash just disappeared. And you want to know who the #1 suspect was?
Margaret Leonard.
No, an FBI agent named Charles Johansson. Now, I know they could never prove that he did it, but then he quits the FBI and joins some Tesla fanatic group called the Tesla Legacy Society, a group dedicated to making the world better through technology. And that's where he meets...
Margaret Leonard?
Bingo! They fall in love, they get married. I think they even had a kid together.
So where's Margaret now?
Not a clue. Johansson died a couple years later, cancer, I think. After that, Margaret just dropped out of circulation.
So all this happened, what, 37 years ago. I mean, no one's found the Tesla cache since then?
It's one of the great mysteries, the lost inventions of Nikola Tesla.
What's the big deal with the Tesla inventions? I mean, there must be some reason they were never made.
Oh, you ever hear of a little thing called Tunguska?
Have I ever? Picked up a bad case when I was down in Mexico. It's where I learned the phrase, Baños, rapidos, ándale muchachos, vámonos!
Oh, Murph, you're too funny. You know, in 1890s, Tesla conducted an experiment and created a resonance frequency. You know, like a big vibration, and it nearly took out a whole chunk of New York City. And then in the 1900s, he began to work on what he called a teleforce beam. The press called it, you know, a death ray, you know, cooler name. But a few years later in Russia, remote area called Tunguska, something caused an explosion 1,000 times greater than the atomic bomb.
1,000 times greater than the atomic bomb 40 years before we invented it?
But that was the last anyone ever heard of the death ray. Tesla never got funding. Instead, they made him out to be some crackpot, and he was broke for the rest of his life. Some people think the plans for it were part of the Tesla cache. Just think how much someone would pay to get their hands on that. And I'll never forget what you did tipping me off before that whack job NSA guy could get me. Seems nice. You know me, Murph. Always up for an adventure. As long as I don't have to go anywhere. You like my shop? Kind of like my old one, the Cosmic Connection. But I had to change the name in case, you know, the NSA and all that. I eat at the Brew and Stew all the time. I actually wouldn't mind forgetting a few years of my own life, mostly my teenage years. Yeah, oh, that's the Hollow Babe at the Golden Gate. Yeah, Mojo is warm for her form, or lack thereof, as it were. He's not very friendly, is he? My little buddy Mojo works over there. We hang out a lot, but I can't stay there too long. Something makes my eyeballs burn. Gosh, you'd think a sidekick would be a little more helpful, huh? Don't know about that. Donnelly's kind of a mysterious character. He was a private detective Tesla may have hired not long before he died. There's a mention of it in one of Tesla's letters. You know, both aliens and ghosts can communicate through their dreams. It's a proven fact. I've been checking my sources, but no one's heard a thing about her in years. He died like 40 years ago and either left the Tesla cache with Margaret Leonard or somebody else, or he took it to the grave. The Tesla cache is right up there for me. Oh, and the death ray? Well, the name says it all, doesn't it?
As I leave, Archie hands me an old photograph of Margaret Leonard. Maybe someone else on Chandler will recognize her from the picture.
I hope you don't mind, Mike. I've been telling folks in the neighborhood about your situation, just so they know it's the old Tex they're dealing with. Let me know what else I can do for you. I know you was having bad dreams way back when, but I didn't hear nothing else about him after, you know, the thing with Chelsea happened. Oh, I know this little lady. Haven't seen her around in quite a while, but she used to come in pretty regular. I think she lived at the Ritz, at least for a time. She and Chelsea were real friendly. Pretty sure her name wasn't Margaret Leonard, though. At least that ain't the name she told me.
If you were looking for me earlier, I wasn't here.
Yeah, I'm a PI, so I figured that one out already. Now that you're back, I wonder if you could help me out with something. You recognize the woman in this photo?
Oh, nice. I think I saw her in a playbook from 1996. Is this your girlfriend?
Well now, if she were my girlfriend, I wouldn't be trying to figure out who she was now, would I? Sheesh.
I'm just kidding about this woman being your girlfriend. She's actually mine. No, I'm kidding again. This is Margaret Leonard. She's had a room here at the Ritz forever. She used to live here, but I haven't seen her in years. So, she may not be here anymore, but she auto-pays her rent. So it's all good.
Any chance you can get me into her apartment?
Not a chance in hell. I let her install her own security system, just like you, except hers is a real one. I can't tell you which apartment it is, but you won't get in without a passcode or a personal invitation. Maybe I could try to help you with something else. Can't help you with that. All I know about her is she's got a room here. I hardly ever see her, so I don't know when she's here and when she isn't. I'll bet she was something back in the day. Way back in the day.
I've been thinking, Murphy, perhaps I should confide something to you.
Oh, this should be good.
You believe Maldonado is spying on you, but it could have been someone else.
Not Margaret Leonard by any chance.
How did you know?
Do the words P.I. mean anything to you?
Margaret may be in grave danger. I've tried to contact her, but to no avail.
Gosh, if only we knew someone with some detective skills. Do you know how to get into her apartment?
No, but she may have left a clue. Some time ago, she left this in my care. It's for you.
For me?
She wanted you to have it in case anything happened. I met Margaret years ago. She was a woman of secrets. I have an interest in Tesla collectibles, so yes, I've heard of it. And no, I don't know where you could find it. I met Margaret years ago. She was a woman of secrets.
Yeah, needs a key. Needs a key. Uh-oh. That doesn't look good. Oh, there's a flower for each month of the year. It's a business card for someone named Count St. Was she blind when she picked these out? As I walk in the bathroom, I realize there's something wrong here. Something terribly wrong.